Thanks so much for joining us today here on America's Retirement Headquarters, home of the Retirement Guys formula and America's Medicare Associates with Nolan Baker and Chaz Price. ARHQ.com is the website. You want to find out more about the guys, find out more about the Economic Summit, including how to go ahead and reserve your space for that on October 2nd, ARHQ.com, or give a call, 419-794-3030. Later on this month, the Fed is expected to begin cutting interest rates, but by how much is the question. Wall Street's 90% sure it will be half a point, but Morningstar's economist Preston Caldwell thinks the Fed, it's going to stick more to the in a quarter point cut range.
The Fed is so close already to achieving its goals on inflation, and it's clear that if the economy slows down further, then victory over high inflation is a foregone conclusion. It will happen very quickly. It's just a matter of time. So there's really no reason for the Fed to keep rates at restrictive levels, given those facts. But the Fed also doesn't want to be seen as panicking unless there really is something that's screaming emergency in the data.
Now, whether it is a half or quarter point cut, we are still looking at a probable reduction. So what are you telling clients who maybe have a lot of cash on the sidelines right now about the future of high interest rates when it comes to fixed income products?
Well, I think it's fair to say that if we look at it, most of the fixed rates are starting to come down. It's something that we've been talking quite a bit about. And just because of the fact that they're starting to come down doesn't mean that now is not still an optimal time to be taking a look at the construction of your finances and how investments are put together. I recently had a lady who had come into the office and had roughly $150,000 just setting aside in her bank account and, wasn't quite sure what to do with it. One, we talked about where to get, even currently in many cases, a lot of different options over 5%. If you look at some of the larger custodians or companies that are out there that offer money market accounts or even, communicate with your bank, we see money market accounts still over that 5% range. The advantage of that is that's the liquid money. You need to have money available for emergencies, liquidities. It makes a lot of sense. The drawback of a money market account is there's a cost to liquidity. So as rates come down, you're going to begin to see those rates come down. Even my own money market account, I've seen it come down a little bit, over the course of the anticipation of money market rates coming down. So what you can do there is then you can build out a laddered type portfolio, meaning that if you have money that's set aside, in our example, the lady who had $150,000, in doing some discussion, looking at her financial wellness, her financial plan, there was the ability that she could put some money aside for, 1 or 2 years, and putting that money aside for 1 or 2 years, looking at things like FDIC insured money market accounts. The advantage of locking money into an FDIC insured bank CD would be using that bank CD. If you took a 2-year CD out, you're going to get whatever that rate is for the next 2 years. So even if interest rates go down in the next 6 months, that rate is going to be secured for that 2-year time frame. Even in her situation, maybe the third bucket of money wasn't going to be needed probably ever, but in her case, what we thought about is maybe taking some money and set it aside for 5 years. And so, for that third bucket of money, giving you the ability to put it in something where you can lock in some of the rates that are out there today. I subscribe to a service where it gives me annuity rates. These rates are the rates that we see from the Insurance Companies of America. There's also some good websites out there that you can go to where you can search various CDs or money market accounts and find out what the different rates are that are out there. But by subscribing to these services, what I have been doing is been getting multiple emails on a daily basis, more so in the last month than I can think of in the last couple of years, about rate decreases. So even though they haven't yet raised the rates, the financial firms are acting very quickly in lowering rates. And, I find it interesting they were kind of slow to raise rates.
Sure. I was just going to say that.
And now the rate cut even hasn't happened, but they're already dropping rates across the board. But there is this window of time. So, what would I say would be my takeaway? If you have lazy assets, so if you have more than $100,000 set aside in money that's earning less than 5%, I would say now is a good time to take a look at setting up a time having a discussion with us, and let's talk about different options and possibilities when you look at, when is the intent of needing that money, and, how could you make that money work a little bit harder, because you still have this moment of time where I say there's a lot of great rates out there in the fixed income products.
I agree. And the other product that comes to mind is, off the top of my head, is really a fixed indexed annuity or a deferred annuity. Deferred annuities allow you to invest a lump sum today in exchange for a guaranteed stream of income at a future date. And that's really what you're getting when you are looking at investing in fixed income and bonds. We're looking for, income. Also, you might say, well, we got a measure of safety. Well, not in 2022. I mean, not when interest rates went up 500%. I'm sure a lot of bondholders, with healthy concentrations of bond fixed mutual funds in their 401ks were, scratching their head like, wow, how did I lose 20% this year? I thought I was conservative. So, there's still a risk. We may be wrong. The Fed, I tend to, differ a little bit with the gentleman that was speaking, where interest rates or with inflation, I think it's been a little stickier than what he's saying. I don't think that the Fed is as close to their 2% target. I just was looking at the numbers, and it's closer to like 3.2. That last two miles, if you will, has been really hard. So it's possible also that if inflation goes the other way, that they may even have to hold or potentially even take them up. So you don't know. I know that everybody is almost, I was talking to an advisor the other day. He said, 100% certainty we're cutting interest rates in September. I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know if I've ever said 100%. I don't ever want to be 100% anything. But if we're wrong and interest rates go up, owning bonds, you still could lose some value. So you don't have the protection. With annuities, again, you've got that principal protection where, if we're wrong and interest rates go up, we lose money in our bonds. We don't have that same risk in an annuity. So it's particularly suitable for and beneficial for those looking for a stable income later, and, in some cases, we can take advantage of growth in the stock market too if we're picking the right sub accounts and the right interest crediting method. So I think that's an opportunity now, as you were saying, with interest rates going down. There's still a few weeks left before the big wave of rate drops comes through our email box. You can lock in a pretty decent stream of income for the future, take advantage of some potential price appreciation if interest rates go down, which is generally a good sign for the market. And if we're wrong and interest rates go up, we're not susceptible to that rising interest rate risk that everybody saw and felt in 2022. I think it's a good time to be taking a look at those annuities, and that's what we can help you with here at the Retirement Guys.
A lot of great opportunities out there to take advantage of the interest rates as they stand right now, depending on your level of comfort, being able to explore those options. Once again, going back to that education that the Retirement Guys do and provide to their clients, and you listening and watching right now, to see how it's going to work for you personally, just reach out and set up a time to speak with them, 419-794-3030, or you can visit them on the website and do the same, arhq.com.